Hello there, welcome in the latest edition of the SAU Softball Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head softball coach Jason Anderson. And Coach, this Coaches Show, you guys are back at home this weekend, 4-game series against Southwestern Oklahoma. Be good to have your team back at home. Feels like it's been a little bit since you've been at home with all the home games at the beginning of the year. But that being said, last weekend in conference play, you went on the road for your first true road games of the year. You went on the road, obviously, to Bentonville to play some games, but neutral site games. You were the home team in both the games you were able to play. This is the first time you were going to be the visitors on the scoreboard and scorebook. You come away out of that weekend 2-2 against Southern Nazarene, a team that coming in, you and Southern Naz were 1-2 in pitching in terms of ERA and strikeouts. So kind of going in, we figured that pitching was going to kind of rise up a little bit, and it did in a couple of the games. Particularly the games that we faced Caleb Wyatt. But coming away with the 2 wins, talk about those, because really in those games your offense was able to get back on track. Talk about those.
Well, Wyatt did a great job. She pitched game 1 over there that we lost. Game 2 that we won, she came in, I believe, in the second inning and kind of minimized the damage, if you will, because we got off to a really good start in game 2. I think we had like a 5-run lead, and then she kind of minimized it, and we were able to score some runs on her late that ended up winning that game. And then came out and started game 1 on day 2 as well. So we faced her a lot. She's a great pitcher. She's been a pitcher in this conference for a long time, and she was able to kind of keep our bats in check. Like I said, when you go on the road in the conference, you want to win a series. I mean, with this team, our goal when we go every weekend is to win 3 or 4. We came up 1 game short, and in that 4-3 game, I think it was, we had an unearned run late that was kind of the difference in the game, and then we bounced back offensively in the 4th game of the series to offense really showed up. But overall, not an awful weekend. You want to win 3 games, but like I said before, this 4-game series in our conference. I mean, these teams have really good. Every team has good players. They have good. Some of them have some really upper-level pitchers like Wyatt. And if you go over there without your A game, you're going to go away with a split or even get beat. So I think that happened to us this weekend. But we're ready to bounce back, and it was good to see the offense get back going again.
You know, one of the things too, for really the first time this season, your pitching staff collectively was tested a little bit as far as giving up a handful of hits and then even multiple runs in a game, resulting in a couple of those losses on the weekend. With how dominant your pitching has been, where you talk about how they were able to face that and then ultimately overcoming on that weekend, what you see going forward?
Well, it's our game. In the game of baseball and softball, you can be dominant one weekend and you can be absolutely terrible the next weekend. It's just the nature of our game. Now, like you said, we had been dominant for 12 games. I mean, we had given up a few runs, very minimal all year, and we went out there, and I think Southern Naz had a good approach offensively against us, and they got out on us early, and they kind of touched us up a little bit. I will say we didn't get to do a whole lot that week going in because of the weather here. We weren't on the field at all. We were kind of on the turf a little bit, doing some indoor stuff, so I think that affected us for sure for day 1, both offensively and pitching. But I really think both of our pitchers bounced back well on day 2. Garner pitched well enough to win the first game. If we make a play for her there, it's a 3-3 ball game going in the 6th, and I think that we got a different game. And then, of course, Kimmy got both wins on the weekend. Got touched up a little bit in game 1, but came back and gave up 1 earned run in day 2, and kind of had it in check the whole time. So I think it was good for us. I think it was good for our staff to realize that we're going to have to work hard every week, and we're going to have to go out, and if we go out there just thinking that we're going to live off reputation because we hadn't given up many runs in the first 12 games, I think it's going to show that those teams will come jump on us. So I hope it was a wake-up call for us as a team, because we got our first losses of the season as well. So I think it was a wake-up call for us as a team, but I don't see anything from it. We still have a very good pitching staff. We still have a very good offense, and I expect us to do real well this weekend.
One of the things still staying on last weekend, offensively, particularly in that last game, Maddie Dow showed out. She had 5 hits on the weekend. 4 of them were home runs. 3 of those coming in the series finale, including a grand slam. So she had 3 home runs and I think 7 or 10 RBIs in that final game. Yeah. An absolute monster week. Yeah. Not something that we're not accustomed to with Maddie Dow. It's the second time she's hit 3 home runs in a game in her career. She's up over 40 just as a junior, earlier into her junior year. Talk about her performance and just kind of how, if she's going, maybe what the rest of the lineup's able to do.
Well, Maddie's a great hitter. Maddie is a big, strong kid. She has a great eye for the ball, and she swings the bat hard. And the pitching, mostly with seeing Wyatt, like we talked, Wyatt throws hard, and if you throw hard, like I said, and it's somewhere that we can reach it. Maddie was getting under the ball. We had a little wind blowing out, and it was carrying on her. I think you said 5 hits, and 4 of them were bombs. So that means if we were touching it, it was going. Otherwise, it wasn't. But Maddie's a great hitter, and she does right there in the top top to middle of our lineup. She's one that you can, as a coach, if you got some runners in score position or the offense isn't doing as well as you want to, when you see that part of your lineup coming up, you know, okay, this is an opportunity for us to really do some things. But we rely heavily on the top of our lineup, and then of course we got some big hits out the bottom as well this weekend. So top to bottom, we have to make it flow. But this weekend, Maddie was definitely on point, and we expect her to do that all year. I mean, Maddie hits the ball hard. Even early on, when she wasn't hitting the home run, she was stinging it right at people. I mean, line drives to center and right, and has been squaring it up all year. She has a great eye. I'll still walk her every now and then. Led the nation in walks last year, so she's an all-around really good hitter, and she's gonna keep pitchers on their toes. If you miss with her, it's probably gonna get hit hard.
Coming into this weekend, or looking forward to this weekend rather, you got Southwestern Oklahoma coming in again, mentioned a 4-game series. Last year, I believe we only got 3 games in with them. They were towards the end of the year in a difficult part of the season. What do you anticipate this year? Because they had a new coach last year, so the team she inherited, it's almost disappeared. Full new team, so maybe not anything that you experienced last year may ring true this year. So what are the expectations going into this series?
Just like every weekend, I think every team in this conference can beat anybody on any given day. So we got to come ready to play. Like you said before, Barb has got it. I mean, basically has an all-new team. I think she brought in a lot of junior college kids that have already shown they can compete at a very high level. They got some good wins on their schedule right now with beating East Central twice and things like that. So we don't take any team in this conference lightly. I don't care what your record was last year, what your record is now, how you've been hitting it, how you've been pitching. I mean, you got to come every day and you got to bring it. It's a 4-game series in a very tough NCAA Division II conference, and everybody's going to bring it every weekend. So if you don't, you're going to find yourself on the wrong end of that. So we expect them to do very well. We expect them to come over here on the road and to play hard, and we're going to have to play with them. But if we'll take care of the ball on our side, just take care of what we can on our side, if we'll pitch it well, play defense, and then keep hitting it like we can, then I expect us to do very well on the weekend. But we're definitely going to have to do all those things.
I appreciate it very much for your time. Again, that's head softball coach Jason Anderson. He and his Lady Mule Riders are at home this weekend, taking on Southwestern Oklahoma. 4-game series will start Friday with a doubleheader at 2, and then including Saturday with another doubleheader at noon. Be sure to check MuleRiderAthletics.com for all your pre- and post-game coverage of that weekend series. Coach, we appreciate it and best of luck.
Thank you.